Patrick McNeil back here with you at the intermission. It's time now for part 2 of our 10 questions with Eagles forward Ivan. Ivan, are you able to do impressions of anybody that's famous? You don't have to do them. I'm just wondering if you can do them.
I don't know. Not really many English-speaking people. I would say more Czech-speaking people.
I was going to ask this later, but I'll ask it now. Who is a big star at home that we don't know about in North America? Maybe a comedian or musician?
We had a big celebrity now. He's a comedian, and he really skyrocketed with his crazy shows. He recently sold out I think 15,000 seated rings. That was the first ever person to do it by stand-up comedy, so he's really good.
Wow, what's the name?
It's Stepan Kozup.
He tells jokes in Czech language, I'm guessing?
Yeah, he does a lot of jokes or impressions of other countries. It's really fun.
Well, we'll see if he breaks through. What is the longest you think you could go without talking?
I don't know. It depends what's on the line. If it's, $100,000, I can go for days.
You don't have a problem if there's big money at stake?
If it's reasonable for me, I will stay quiet.
You talked about surfing earlier, but what is a sport you'd like to try that you've never had the chance to try?
That's a good question. Honestly, it's called paddle tennis. It's a tennis in almost like a squash-looking box, and you can use the ball and stuff. It's a really trendy new sport in Europe now. Does
Ivan have any close friends he's made outside of playing sports?
Yeah, I got a couple of people I met just going to school or randomly almost. But most of the friends are around the hockey area. But yeah, I got a couple of friends like that.
Friends here or friends back home? Or both?
Both.
Does Ivan prefer sunrise or sunset? What do you think is prettier?
For me, sunset, because sunrise is early, so.
I couldn't agree with you more on that one. I like to ask the guys questions about former hockey players, and I'll ask about this guy because he played internationally for the Czechs. I assume you've heard of this player. Maybe not. It wasn't an impact player in the NHL. Does Ivan know what team in the queue Dmitry Yaskin played for?
Moncton.
Didn't have to think about it. Very good. Do you know him personally? Or do you just remember watching him?
No, but just I remember seeing him somewhere as an alumni for Moncton.
What is Ivan's favorite book, or do you have a favorite book?
I don't really read books, but I'd say my favorite book is, I had a little book when I was a kid, was a hockey story.
Okay.
About 2 little kids playing hockey, so I'll say that.
Just a book at home in the Czech?
Yeah.
You've been on a lot of road trips with the Eagles by now. We're coming up to the end of the season. Who's the best joker on the Eagles? The guy that likes to crack people up or maybe pull pranks on his teammates?
I'll say there's 2 really good people to do that. It's Connor Shortle and Julian Hebert.
I definitely would have guessed Shortle. Hebert maybe a little bit more under the radar. Do they pull jokes on each other a lot?
Oh, yeah. We can on each other, so it's really fun to watch.
This is the last one for part 2. Other than being a 20-year-old in the QMJHL, what is something that makes you feel old?
It's just seeing how much it changed for me since being a rookie.
Sure.
Seeing the younger guys, and knowing they're born, some of them are born in 2006, they're as young as my brother, which is kind of crazy for me.
Yeah, he would have been too young to play with, I guess, in hockey, so it's a little bit weird for you to play with the 06s, I guess. That feeling doesn't get any easier the older you get, unfortunately. Well, Ivan, it's been fun doing these the last few years. Thanks for letting us get to know you a bit again, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That's 10 questions with Eagles forward Ivan. You're listening to the intermission of Cape Breton Credit Union Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.